Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 says that, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against world's rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Welcome and thank you for allowing us to share the word of God with you today. So on this day, a lady that I know, Lady P, this lady shared with me of a dream that her friend had about her, and the Lady P said that her friend had a dream where she saw Lady P in a house. She was washing dishes and the lady was there, and after a few minutes the lady couldn't find Lady P in the dream. And then someone went and told this lady that Lady P just died in the dream. So the lady started asking questions like, how did this happen? Why did Lady P die suddenly? And this lady was told that it was because of the people that didn't like Lady P, and that didn't like the fact that Lady P went back to school and that she was doing well in her studies. And then the lady woke up. So the lady prayed against the dream, and the lady shared this dream with Lady P, and both of them prayed against the dream. And when Lady P shared with me this dream, I also prayed against it, and I continued to pray with her, and I encouraged her to continue to pray, because we knew that these were the plans of the enemy against her life. So during that time, she did go back to school. Even though she had a family, she was married, she went back to school, and by God's grace, she was able to graduate, and that was another testimony of how God saw her through. So Lady P would have decided to dismiss the message. Lady P would have told this friend of hers that, you know what, God protects me, nothing like that will happen to me, because she would have told the lady that, okay, I know God will not allow that to happen to me. She was not that type of a person. And it is true that God protects her, and God watches over us, just like the way the word of God says. But sometimes God may choose to protect you by showing you what the enemy is planning to do to you, and of how you can pray against the enemy's plans. You know, she was not a person that would just dismiss a message that God gives through dreams. So I'm going to give you another story of a church member that had a dream about another church member. So this church member had a dream where she saw a spirit of death that was trying to destroy an individual in the church. And this church member decided to tell that individual that, you know what, I had a dream about this. I saw a spirit of death trying to destroy you. And it turned out that that individual didn't take that information very well. And after some time, the individual died. These are two different people that had a message from God through a dream. We see how one person realized that this is God telling me what the enemy is planning, and this person realized that she can stand and proclaim of the word of God over her life and speak against the plans of the enemy. And we see of how the other person had a message from God, and how the person didn't take the message very well, and she actually lost her life. You know, Ephesians 6:12 says that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 says that, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but mighty through God. The Bible also tells us that we should not be ignorant of the devices of the enemy. These two incidences teach us today that, okay, God can use dream to actually protect us. God can reveal the enemy's plan over your life so that you pray against it to actually protect you. You know, you cannot be more spiritual than God. We cannot over-spiritualize things. Do you know that when Jesus was here, when he was born, that God actually used a dream to warn Joseph to run away because Herod was trying to kill Jesus? Do you think God was not able to just send a group of angels, an army of angels to just destroy Herod? God was able to do that. But God specifically decided to use a dream to warn Joseph. God showed Joseph what the enemy was planning to do, of how the enemy was going to use Herod to kill Jesus. And we see how Joseph obeyed the instruction. Do you know that there's so many people that actually die prematurely? Do you know that there's so many Christians today that die before their time? Maybe those deaths would have been prevented. Maybe before their deaths, maybe God spoke to them. But maybe they chose not to listen. God will not come down here and force you to listen to him when he's speaking to you. And our job is not to dictate how God should speak to us. It may be at your workplace. God may be trying to tell you that you have a co-worker that doesn't like you. You have a co-worker that actually uses witchcraft to hurt you. God may show you that so that you'll be more careful, so that you will pray against that plan. Sometimes God can protect you by telling you to run away, run for your life. If you pay attention to your dreams, you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble, because this world is so complicated. And living in this world without the guidance of God is like walking while you're blind. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And throughout the Bible, you see how God used dreams in so many different places. And everything in the Bible is for us to apply in our lives, because the Word of God doesn't change. If you have any questions, feel free to type them down below, and we will be glad to answer your questions. God bless you.